How's it going? My name is Stefan Leo. It's May 5th, 2024, and I am doing my leadership PowerPoint on Bill Gates. So, Bill Gates was born on October 28th in 1955. From a very young age, he was always into computers, and I think he knew exactly what he wanted to do when he got older. Obviously, he co-founded Microsoft in 1975 with a good friend of his, Paul Allen. But before that, he had done a lot of other stuff in the realm and world of technology and computers that led him to be able to co-found Microsoft at the young age of 20 years old. In high school, he formed a group of programmers within his high school, and they were able to computerize their school payroll system. And then they also co-founded a company called Trafidata, which was a traffic counting system, and they were able to sell that to local governments and places around where they went to high school. And that was like basically the first company that he had founded. After high school, he graduated and he went to Harvard, where he would continue his studies of computers and technologies. And he realized how good he was at it and decided his sophomore year to leave Harvard and join up with his friend Paul Allen to develop software for the first microcomputers. And then that evolved into what we now know as today as Microsoft. Once he figured out what he was doing with Microsoft, he took what he was doing with the microcomputers and started to adapt BASIC, which was a popular programming script that was used on larger computers, and they translated that into microcomputers. With this success, that was what launched the company and organization of Microsoft, and what also allowed him to leave Harvard during his sophomore year. By 1986, he was technically a paper billionaire, and he was 29, essentially, or 31, which is still insane. So he was able to create a company, his first company in high school, and then went to Harvard, was able to leave Harvard and co-found one of the biggest technology companies in the world today in his sophomore year of college. And then this has also just shown that he's been successful essentially his entire life, because he was able to do all these things at such a young age, create his first company in high school, and then go off to create Microsoft when he was 20 years old. So since Microsoft's conception in 1975, there have been three different CEOs. The first CEO was obviously Bill Gates, and he served for 25 years from 1975 until 2000, and then he stepped down. And then there was a CEO from 2000 to 2014, and his name was Steve Ballmer. And then from 2014 to now, the new CEO has been Satya Nadella. And Microsoft's board of directors is basically made up from company outsiders, and there are new board members elected and re-elected every year at the annual shareholders meeting. Gates had been on the board until 2022, when he stepped away to pursue more philanthropic things that he wanted to do. Microsoft currently has 9 different business groups, and they are business development, corporate, external and legal affairs, corporate strategy and planning, finance group, global sales, marketing and operations, HR group, LinkedIn, marketing group, and a worldwide commercial business. So these are what Microsoft is mainly made up of, and the business groups that they pursue. They also have 3 engineering groups that are divided into cloud and AI groups, experiences and devices, and artificial intelligence and research. So these are the groups that they use to help them engineer new technology and implement new technology into the devices that they produce. They also carry two geographical divisions in that they are the United States division and the international division. So obviously the United States division deals with stuff in the U.S. and the international division deals with stuff outside of the U.S. So the way that Microsoft is organized, it means they have a wider span of control than is what is usually seen in other places such as like Apple or Facebook. They're more centralized, so more of their employees or subordinates fall under the supervision of a certain, like one manager who have the most authority. So, according to Microsoft, their mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. This statement really shows that the business focuses on the empowerment of organization and people through the products that they market and sell. And it just shows that they want the best for the companies and organizations that use their products, and they want to set themselves apart by allowing the best production for the products that they sell. And they also are very good at targeting the market, which is mainly specified to include groups and people all around the world. And this also corresponds to their business vision, which is to help people and businesses throughout the world realize their full potential. The vision statement shows that Microsoft wants to present their products as tools that other businesses, organizations, or people can use for their own development and growth, which shows because they're the largest technological organization in the world. A big part of Microsoft business is their stakeholders, which includes people and groups that have major interest in how the company will perform and the impact that the computing products will have within the nation. Since they are such a huge player in the global market, they have to maintain an ever evolving corporate responsibility to make sure that the corresponding programs satisfy their stakeholders' interests and that they enhance the corporate and brand image. Their major, like, top priority stakeholder groups are the customers. Since they have such a high business growth, the customers are the top priority. They're mainly interested in the reasonably priced, effective products along with the higher quality customer service, and keeping their interest is super important because it keeps the customer retention and the related sales revenue high. So they have also implemented feedback systems and allow the customers to address them directly when they have any issues or concerns regarding the products that they have bought. So the employees are the second priority group when it comes to stakeholders, just because they're obviously the people that work within the company and they need to be compensated well. So they have good compensation packages and continuous improvement to the employee practices to protect their workers' rights. The suppliers are the third biggest group just because they supply everything that Microsoft needs to create and sell the products. So the shareholders and the community that Microsoft has built is seen to be very solid, and it's a very good community, as you can see throughout the years of success that they've had and how they've continually stayed on the top of the technological division in the world. So Microsoft, as every company does, has strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Their three major strengths are that they are a super dominant brand, they have strong alliances with other firms, and their product alignment goes very well with their positive externalities. Since, they are, again, the biggest technological company in the world, that's why they have such competitive advantage when they're drawing customers, because everybody knows who they are. So it's easy for them to hold that customer retention and be able to reach out to new customers and get them to buy their products. And they also have really good alliances with other companies, since they are able to use, for example, companies can use the Windows OS on their company computers or whatever, and then Microsoft will run something out that only works on Windows OS. So it's very smart for Microsoft to have a hold on all these major companies, because it means that they can keep them retained and have these customers for a long time by rolling out things that only work on Windows OS. It also means that they have a huge ability to influence the market. Since companies deal with them, they have a lot of control on how the market will look. So some of the weaknesses are the cybersecurities that they have and how it's easily poached sometimes, the imitability of their products, and the minimal dominance that they have on their own hardware products. A lot of Microsoft stuff are prone to cybersecurity threats, since basically everything that they deal with is computer components and whatnot. Those are things that can be hacked, and since they have such a huge database of users, that also has a major threat of being exposed. And their imitability is super limited, so it's something that impacts how attractive they can be as a company. And they also rely heavily on software products, which weakens the business against competitors that have more dominant hardware and software products that are in the market. These are just some things that are a weakness in Microsoft's company and that they need to improve on. They also have many opportunities, such as business diversification, creating stronger cybersecurity, and innovating more hardware products. They are diverse and they can merge with new businesses or have new acquisitions to establish new things. And they can also innovate new hardware products to increase their hardware sales, just because they lack in that area. And by continuing to search for continuous improvements for cybersecurity overall, the security would be able to stop having cybersecurity attacks. Threats are something that every business has to deal with. So some of their threats are software piracy, cybercrime, and they also have to constantly compete with other major technology organizations. Cyber attack, as I talked about earlier, can release tons of personal information for all their users. They also just have a huge competitive pool that they have to constantly keep up with if they were to stay on top. And other people can pirate their software and sell it illegally, which would negatively impact their sales. And then the pestle analysis. There are certain policies and regulations that impact the technology and data privacy that can also impact Microsoft's operations. There are economic conditions such as GDP growth or exchange rates that can influence how the customers spend their money on the products and on the technology. The social demographics such as age distribution and population growth can also impact the demand for Microsoft's products and services, while changes in preferences or lifestyles can change the adoption of new technologies and platforms. While there are major technological advancements, there are also many opportunities for Microsoft to create new products and services, while having the impact of new technologies can disrupt Microsoft's existing business models. Increasing awareness of environmental issues may lead to greater demand for eco-friendly products and a sustainable business practice, another thing that can influence Microsoft's product development and corporate responsibilities. There are compliance laws and regulations that have to deal with antitrust, consumer protection, and data privacy that are essential for Microsoft to avoid legal challenges. Things, again, such as like cybersecurity attacks, cyber piracy, and whatnot. There are also patent infringements and legal disputes that could impact Microsoft's financial performance or market perceptions. But Bill Gates has found steady growth and success throughout his life by creating a company that is built on trust and finding new ways to expand their market. So, the characteristics of Bill Gates, one of, or if not the most influential person when it comes to creating a business in the technological world or in the world in general. He paved his own way and was able to create what we now know as Microsoft. He also had insanely good foresight in recognizing the potential of personal and computing software. He saw a future where computers would be ubiquitous, where computers would run the world, and he was right. And he ran with that idea, and he is, now where we see him today as one of the richest people in the world. He always led by example. He always brought everybody around him up to his level just through his deep technological expertise and the industry knowledge. He was able to guide Microsoft's product development and strategy to where they are today. He was always honest too. He always would make statements when something went wrong, and has never had any issues with media or with their customers. And this also goes into the transparency that he has, and he has really good ethical leadership. Bill and his wife Melinda have the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which addresses global health, poverty and alleviation, and education. And he also has always done this by trying to use his money to better the world and the people around him. So, what does this mean for the other people who want to be like him or other leaders that are learning from him? Obviously, he was a very visionary leader. He had this vision from when he was very young and decided that he was going to capture this vision, and this also means that he paved the way for others and showed them what it would be like for them to reach the level that he is at. He's also been very resilient. Every time that there's an issue or he's been knocked down, he's found a way to get up and work past it and use those failures to build off of the failures and become better. Honestly, he put his head down from the very beginning and was chasing his dream and never let anybody get in his way. And the people that were with him, he was able to bring them up with him and continually create better opportunities for them and for himself. And it allowed him to be where he is today. These are my references. Thank you.